They are accusing Democrats of saying we spend too much. For anyone that wants to entertain that thought, I ask you to think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them, that their Social Security check was too high, that teachers are paid too much. When was the last time anyone has heard or seen that?
Another quote. President Biden already lowered the deficit by $1.7 trillion. They say his budget would cut the deficit by another $3 trillion by eliminating wasteful spending on big oil and pharma, we're told.
Lies. Hey everyone, welcome back to Congress Flash. If you've ever looked at the state of our country and thought something just doesn't feel right, you're not alone. Today, I'm breaking down a fiery political moment that's got people talking. It's packed with bold claims, sharp criticism, and a brutal takedown of what's really happening in Washington. This isn't just politics, it's your money, your freedom, your future. So stick with me as I break this all down into no-nonsense bullet points that will make you question the entire system.
Let's get right into it.
So the first shot...
But it is in fact our Democratic colleagues who prefer to maintain their massive subsidies for the elites and the wealthy in their so-called Inflation Reduction Act just last year. My friend from New York, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, said, quote, "I ask you, think about the last time a person has said in this country that the government does too much for them. When was the last time anyone has heard or seen that?" I'll say it. I'll say it right here. I don't want the government doing most of the things that the government is doing to interfere with the ability of the American people to carry out their lives. Federal, state, and local. When was the last time you had a bureaucrat show up and you said, "Oh joy, thank you. I'm really glad there's a bureaucrat here"? When was the last time you were thankful for $32 trillion in debt, $100,000 almost for every man, woman, and child in America? Anybody thankful for $32 trillion in debt? Anybody? Anybody thankful for a border that's wide open being exploited by cartels while fentanyl comes in and kills our children? Everybody thankful for that Department of Homeland Security that doesn't actually secure the homeland? Everybody thankful for an FBI that went after Scott Smith and labeled him a domestic terrorist for daring to defend his daughter in a school board meeting because she was assaulted in a bathroom? Anybody thankful for the IRS knocking on your door, auditing the poor and the minorities 3 to 5 times more? People thankful for that? Are you thankful for the EPA or the Department of Interior that sent a man to prison because he had some ponds on his ranch in Montana? We have a government that is weaponized against the American people and is undermining our liberties, and they want more of it. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle want more government. They want more taxes. They want more spending. They want more bureaucrats knocking on your door.
So the first shots fired? Right at government spending. The speaker in this video didn't hold back. They mocked the idea that Americans actually think the government is doing too much for them. I mean, seriously, when was the last time you heard someone complain their Social Security check was too high, or that teachers were getting too much money? Exactly. Never. Then we get hit with a classic talking point. Biden supposedly lowered the deficit by $1.7 trillion and is aiming to cut $3 trillion more. Sounds good on paper, right? But here's the catch. The cuts are supposed to come from eliminating subsidies to big oil and pharma. The speaker fires back, claiming it's the Democrats who are still pushing subsidies that benefit the wealthy elite. Let that sink in. Now, here's where things heat up. They quote AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, asking rhetorically when Americans ever say the government does too much. The speaker's response? I'll say it right here. They argue the government, at every level, is overreaching, meddling in people's lives and doing far more harm than good. And then there's the national debt. $32 trillion. That's nearly $100,000 of debt for every man, woman, and child in this country. Are you thankful for that? Because according to this speaker, no one is. And honestly, it's hard to argue with that math. Here's where things take a darker turn. The border crisis, called out. The speaker claims it's wide open, exploited by cartels, and flooding our communities with fentanyl. with the government turning a blind eye. Then, things get personal. The FBI is accused of going after a father who defended his daughter at a school board meeting, labeling him a domestic terrorist. Let that sink in. A dad, standing up for his kid, targeted by federal agents. And it doesn't stop there. The IRS, allegedly auditing poor and minority communities at a rate 3 to 5 times higher than others. That's not just unfair, that's systemic injustice. Oh, and by the way, if you're getting value out of this breakdown and you want more honest, unfiltered takes on what's really happening in our world, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're just getting started. The final point is chilling. The speaker accuses environmental agencies, like the EPA and Department of the Interior, of criminalizing ordinary citizens. One case, a man in Montana sent to prison over ponds on his ranch. Imagine that, a pond, on his land. All of this is used to drive home a single, unrelenting point. The government, as it stands, is weaponized against its own people, and those in power want even more of it. More taxes, more spending, more bureaucrats at your door. So here's the bottom line. Whether you lean left, right, or somewhere in the middle, these are the kinds of questions we have to ask. Is the government really serving us, or itself? This video wasn't just a rant, it was a warning. And now, it's up to us to stay informed, stay alert, and speak up. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. I want to hear what you think. Do you agree? Disagree? Let's have the conversation. And don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you never miss the content the mainstream media won't show you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.